UOW Creative is a digital artifact that explores the creative arts within university life and the learning environment. The primary position of the digital artifact is in showcasing creative talent at the University of Wollongong and addressing the need for a university-based digital platform in the creative industries. UOW Creative is made up of 3 distinctive channels: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Videos, images, text, and aggregated content is curated across these channels. This is how the DA looks in its prototype stage. The process I use is based in timeliness, content aggregation levels, and ease of creation, as is influenced by the guiding FIST principle. I am constantly ideating and identifying social trends and opportunities within the creative spheres and making content accordingly. In the content creation process, I first plan a series of simple creations that can be communicated across the 3 platforms. Then I plan when I will create these before deciding on a time and date that is most relevant to post according to analytics. This process has steadily evolved over the progression of my DA. This has come about as a result of feedback loops. I started by making a lot of varied content to see what audiences were receptible to. This included campaigns, student works, and quote images, among other ideas. I quickly realized that 1. Aggregated content performed the best of all options, and 2. That running interactive campaigns that linked with the other platforms we had were the most successful. I measured this through use of platform tools and Iconosquare analytics, which allowed evaluation of changing engagement, shares, likes, and comments depending on different variables. The second most significant feedback loop that I found was in improving my understanding of platforms. For example, I started by using random hashtags of whatever I could relate to our post on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, as well as UOW hashtags. Through trying different formats, I realized that there were fluctuating views, likes, and follower growth rates, depending on the hashtags that I used. I therefore came to understand that hashtags that didn't focus on the university solely tended to do better. Considering this, I thought we should promote our campaigns with altered hashtags. E.g., instead of something like UOW at home, we tried My Study Space and found it performed better. Through this iteration of a less institutionalized voice, I was able to reach a wider audience. This allowed me to close the feedback loop. By closing feedback loops through iteration, I was able to create a more effective, efficient, and meaningful process for my content creation. At UOW Creative, the core idea stayed the same, but the concept changed based on feedback from users. I moved to a more aggregated content focus and adapted based on what content engaged users best. I collaborated more across the UOW Creative channels and tagged in accordance with the furthest reach. In the future, I intend to keep learning from our audience and providing content that has social value. I aim to have more collaboration with other organizations as well as with student users and groups. Throughout this process, I maintain the belief that UOW Creative will continue to be a valuable utility.